What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 28 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Yuan Bo Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, or as we left off last time, an interesting occurrence occurred, as occurrences do tend to do. The Dread Fleet have declared war on us and have sent a full stack out to our relatively undefended portion of the coast of Illustria. Now this will mean that most likely we will lose at least one settlement, most likely the Monument of the Moon, but Yuan Bo is heading on up here, and well, although he'll probably only reach there after Shu Kang does, so maybe we'll send Shu Kang and then ignore Yuan Bo and just send him to the Galleon's graveyard. I certainly don't think we need multiple armies to deal with one army, but it is a bit of an annoyance. In fact, we are on the cusp of a few things. The battle here, potentially, and we're going to try our best to recruit a bunch of lions in one turn, because they're cheap and effective. And then we are on the cusp of having 4 and 4 Steel and Stone, which will hopefully give us our faction-wide Matters of State buff. We have 1 turn remaining until the final for the relays is operational and we unlock the final battle. We're getting closer to the endgame scenario, and then finally we begin to build the final armies of the campaign. First of all is going to be Miao Ying's souped up force with that bonus armor that they have all have, and the maxed out ranks, and then everybody will get their own ferry to ferry their armies over to where they need to be in preparation for the overlords of Jarduk / the servants of the Conclave doing their thing during the endgame. Anyway, let's see what we can do this turn. So Yuan Bo, let's send you out, and in fact, you know what we're going to do with you? I'm actually going to land you at the Awakening. The thing is, these guys still don't like us very much, and, you know, it does make sense. But if we can grab the Awakening... Ow! I didn't realize Clan Pestilence was here. Wait. Cancel move. And they have a tiny amount of stuff here. Now, I wasn't going to fight Clan Pestilence again, but let's see. Wait, declare war is... yeah, it is available. It is funny. So we could potentially ask these guys to declare war on them, and then take the Awakening, trade it back to them, then peace out with the rats, and then just let them all just fight it out over Illustria. It might be a decent option. Kairos probably won't care that much about the loss of the Clan Pestilence either. Might be a decent idea. Alright, let's declare war on them. Let's go for call your allies to help. This should not impact our reliability in any way. Yuan Bo, you're going to freely take this territory, although of course the Crowmen are going to get hurt by the auto-resolve, because that's what it does. It hates our precious Crowman. And there we go. Awakening is ours, though only temporarily. We're not going to bother collecting income, and we're just going to trade it away. Unless we want to maybe level it up by 1 and then trade it away. We'll see. Depends how much it's worth to these guys. You know what I should have done? I should have joined the war with these guys rather than... well, whatever, too late. Too late, and hopefully it'll still be okay. I'll just pop a non-aggression pact with them in favor of trading, or for trading the Awakening to them. And I don't see any Skaven armies nearby, so they're unlikely to threaten us, though we should keep building forces at the Southern Sentinels here, and just in case. You know what, let's build some peasants. I mean... no, we can build 1 peasant at a time? Fine. We will build 1 peasant at a time. And it's gonna be a while before the place grows. Anyway, let's continue. Jishu, you... what am I gonna do with you? Now, we do want Jiao Ming all the way up at the Volary. There is still a stack up here. You do need to heal, but frankly, Dingjun needs to heal a little bit more. You know what, let's pop you into an camp stance outside the settlement instead, where you will heal less. And you into... oh. Right. We can't do that this turn. We'll wait until next turn then. Fine. Don't bother moving. We can also, I suppose, sack the Volary again if we were feeling dickish, but it's fine. It's fine for now. Alright, Shu Kang, and somebody did suggest we rename him to Admiral. Makes sense to me. He has been out at sea and will probably continue to be out at sea quite a bit, so yeah. Plus, you know what, frankly, with the with those Iron Hail Gunners that he has, kind of makes sense as well. And what do we have here? Scales of the Celestial Court. For 21 seconds, we basically have full physical resistance. Not horrible, at the very least, for... probably for hero units, obviously not lords. Anyway, you are going out here. You're probably going to try and grab that mysterious island. If somebody else doesn't reach it first, as in one of our other armies, and doesn't reach it first, but then otherwise try to get to Felicia before she does too much damage to our undefended coastline. Alright, and yeah, I know I should have been building defenses everywhere, but I just didn't feel like it, and I'm still operating on SFO habits, and SFO habits, I tend to not build a lot of defensive structures over just other types of structures, as it does give you better, much better, I should say, garrisons than vanilla does. Anyway, let's see who else needs to move out here. You are going where? I always forget what to do with this army. I was probably going to delete it slash use it in place of this army here. Frankly, neither one is probably going to be necessary, but at the same time, we're making pretty good money, so yeah. Alrighty, Tech Thieves, you also don't need to move. Fine, Torellosaur, I think we can just keep you where you are for now as well, and I believe that's that, and we're good. Alrighty, let's go for buildings. I believe we did them last time, but let's just double check, and we're okay there. So, skip, unassigned skill point, skip. Wait, I forgot to try something. Yeah, you can reach Gorger Rock. Okay, take Gorger Rock. You might actually be able to heal up more there. A little bit of damage to your army, but at least you'll be able to heal through it better. Yeah, another Jade Amulet. Not bad, at least for the reserves that we get, the power reserves. And yeah, there we go. Healing very slightly better. Godric and Felix might appear. We'll go for another tea parlor here. We're not keeping any of these territories, obviously, but temporarily while we fight the orcs and the chaos dwarfs. It does make sense. Anyway, Huron moved. Outpost upgrade available. We should keep upgrading those. And there's several types of units we want to get from allies after all, and we will continue building them up anyway in the turn now. I forgot to check caravans and stuff, but I'm just going to assume that it doesn't really matter that much. Zatan, oh damn, Zatan's come back. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. Honestly, this is probably not even worth fighting. His force is just, it's made out of garbage at this point. I also find it hilarious that we put Miao Ying, we took her all the way around, back through the Great Bastion, back through the Mountains of Morn, up northward, only to encounter Zatan again. And he gets ambushed again. Yeah, poor thing. I'm almost tempted to not destroy the army, but I guess Jiao Ming has to go over there anyway, so probably not a big deal. Just destroy it. Yeah. Oh, like I said, there was really no reason to just watch our artillery destroy the pathetic number of goblin laborers and hobgoblins that this army was composed of. Zatan, I'm sorry, but I think you're just about done for. Let's heal up, I guess, because we don't heal so well in the Mountains of Morn, unlike several other places. I do have to wonder if any of these other full stacks will attack Jiao Ming. We did have Miao Ying face off against Grimgor a couple of episodes ago, and I'd like the same, if possible, for Jiao Ming as well. Hide Piercer or Hide Striker is a very decent trait. Not as good as Zatan's trait, mind you, but good nonetheless. Alright, anything else interesting?
Now flow from where the Dragon Emperor's personnel watch over the Ivory Road. Power ebbs from a grand watchtower of jade and jet toward the great Wuxing compass.
Alrighty, that it does, and a 4 and 4, fantastic. Ogre Blade for free, the Bloody Hands failed in a wall, I don't see why we'd care. Campaign movement range, tech researched sky junk rigging, and there we go. A long campaign victory for winning the following battle, Battle of the Jade Compass. Now, what do we have in terms of forces? A elite lizard stack with Lord Mazdamundi himself as a... Are these backwards, or is Mazdamundi acting as a hero here? This seems weird. There's a Feral Dread Saurian plus reinforcements. Maybe something that'll actually challenge Yuan Bo stack. Now, as to whether we do that this episode, we shall see. It really depends on a number of things and what other things we have to do here. First of all, I want to see what's going on. You didn't land. Well, that's a shame for you. You then are going to encounter a lot more lions. Where that came from, we could delete them all afterwards, but we could also use it as a sort of coastal defensive lion army. Why not? Nothing but lions. I just find the idea just tickles me. That's why I'm going to do this, and not that I think that it's necessarily a good or effective idea. Although it might be reasonably effective, especially against a battle line that will be mostly disabled once all of the ranged units are engaged. So you know, and it still has potential. Anyway, techs. We wanted to get Kunlun Anvil for the additional armor for Celestial Guard and Celestial Dragon crossbows, which will take a while to get. But we additionally get physical resistance and a bunch of other upgrades, so yeah. And ooh, 20% ward save. That ain't too bad for a banner, I gotta say. I wonder if this could apply to lords, or whether it can only apply to not heroes, but regular units. Anyway, let's see what else we can do. Actually, you know what, the thing that interests me most is the fact that we have the Matters of State available now. Command the Lesser Courts. A firmer hand ensures the mortal courts remain aligned with the Dragon Emperor's grand design. Choose between a set of powerful permanent bonuses to your faction. I think we shall. Alrighty, what do we have here? So for 10 turns, okay, so we can redo it. Okay, so the choice isn't permanent in the sense that it won't be a big deal. Alrighty, now we have unit experience gain per turn, plus 100. It's not horrible, and the Lord Recruit rank plus 10 is not horrible either. If we want to get additional Lords, upkeep is fine, but we frankly don't need the money that much. Character experience gain plus 100%, construction time for buildings. Oh, okay, so Pledge to Progress is very good, especially since we want to try to level everybody up even more. And I take it that character experience gain plus 100% will combine even further with Mentor. And I assume that includes Lords as well. What do we have here? Pledge to Peace, lots of extra tradable resources, but it's mostly money. Though I do like the reputation. We basically get 60 relations bonus with the other Empire factions, with Empire Kislev and Bretonnia, though not Cathay, because, well, there are no other Cathayan factions, and 40 relations with everybody else. Pretty fantastic, frankly, as well. And then tons of income and growth, and wow, 4,000 defensive supplies. Huh. If nothing else, and casualty replenishment rate plus 10, I take it that's constant casualty? No, it's not constant, it's just regular casualty replenishment rate. But it's still not bad, and neither is the growth. Though once again, we don't really need the money. Nonetheless, this is certainly something we might want to switch into when the final battle against the Chaos Dwarfs arrives. Nonetheless, we're going to switch to Pledge to Progress for now for the construction time, the magic item drop chance, and the character XP. These are all pretty darn good. Doctrine of Progress. And then we have this for 10 turns, so we'll see how many turns it takes to get 4 and 4 back. I'd love to do a couple of districts before the... before popping another one of these things, but we shall see. Anyway, action performed, and let's keep on moving. Lovely. Yuan Bo. I guess the question is, do we keep you here, or do we move you out? I did want to send him out to meet Nog to elicit the Galleon's graveyard and destroy it, but we may want to fight the final battle there first. Well, let's keep him here. Let's see if there's any other potential battles this particular turn, and ooh, hello. Looks like Mr. Hack is coming. Let's move you back, Dingjun. In fact, wait. Let's move you, Jishu, out into the environs of Granite Spikes, and then we'll put Dingjun in the Granite Spikes itself. Our Dragon-Blooded Lord, frankly, should probably be able to face off against Hack by herself without too much difficulty, I would imagine. If she could reach this... Oh. She could reach the army, but there's no guarantee that they wouldn't run. That's the main issue. Well, it's one of the main issues. Although, they do have a pretty good army. Maybe they wouldn't run. Though, of course, another problem here is we would then suffer attrition next turn. I do have to wonder if we... I was thinking, what if we put this army out here by itself without Dingjun nearby? They'd be more likely to attack it, wouldn't they? Hard to say.
Ready to defend.
Alright, well, either way. Miao Ying, you're probably gonna hit Carrick Vrag, though it has no defenders. It does have some tier 5 stuff. We could also send Jiao Ming there, or send you both there together. I suppose it doesn't matter all that much. Anyway, you can't quite reach Carrick Vrag, so I'm gonna send you right here to the edge of our own territory, heal to full, and then hit Vrag later. We could have you hit the Eagle Ares if we wanted to. What do we have here in terms of defenses? Nothing crazy, to be honest. Might be worth a fight, but let's see what else everybody else is doing, and then we'll decide where we want to take our fight. Mujin, you don't need to do anything. Alright, what does this army want to do? You want to do nothing? Oh, you're a sentinel. I should have probably figured that out. You don't need to do anything. Jiao Ming, I will decide on you later. I will decide on you later. I will decide on you later. Or actually, you know what? Let's just move you here for now and join these armies together. In fact, you could go through the Shadowed Stone Bay instead. Miao Ying Ferry. You won't need to move for 2 to 3 more turns. It's going to be a little bit. And it's going to be a little bit. It's going to take some time to build all of these things up. But what can you do? Did we not end the turn? Odd. I could have sworn that these should have been built in 1 turn. Oh, no, wait, the Celestial Dragon crossbows take 2 turns to build. Yeah, never mind. Ignore me, guys. I'm crazy. You're just gonna keep building peasants in case you need to defend against the rats. And I believe that's it. Alrighty, well, I guess we gotta pick a battle. I'm very curious about this final battle thing. Do we just fight it now? We're gonna just fight it now. Screw it. It's too much of a curiosity. Let's level everybody up first, especially in case they don't have Mentor, though of course you do. You actually have everything you need, so I guess we'll just move through through Specialist. You two don't have you don't have the levels for Mentor, but at least you're basically done with your point expenditure as well, so get Wind Harmony and Range Discipline, and then same to you, friendo. Alright. Well, let's see about this final battle. I know nothing about it, and I am very excited at the prospect.
Go, brave warriors of Cathay.
I believe we can't take a stance for this, and oh, I noticed that the crowmen are still hurt, but oh well. Live with it, Yuan Bo. You faced off against worse, I think. And it's a quest, so it should be up on the side. Yes. Battle of the Jade Compass. Alright, I'm gonna give this a read, obviously, because I'm a sucker for lore. And the final ritual is at hand. Flexing the bounds of the Great Compass, its power shall soon be extended, growing more tuned to the elemental winds than ever before. The benefits to Cathay shall be endless. However, as expected, the lizardmen protest in outrage, declaring that such rights fly in the face of the Old Ones and their great plan. Their meddling is assured, but a dragon does not bow before mere reptiles. As the Cold Ones rally to arms, the Celestial Empire shall stand defiant, put an end to their foolish intrusion. Nothing must interfere with the ritual's completion. Does this actually give us any kind of reward, I wonder? Oh, we can check victory conditions, long victory reward. Hero recruit rank plus 10. Oh, that's not horrible, actually. I'll take it. I will certainly take it. Battle of whatever. Wait. Huh? Oh, we need to actually teleport it? Okay. Teleport it is, yes. And away we go. Pyrrhic victory, apparently. What do we have in terms of... Oh, wow. Tehenowin and Mazdamundi. Well, if they were going to do this, they might as well have just... Damn, Mazdamundi's got a lot of help. They may as well have brought Gorok and Krogar and Oxyodal in as well. And just given them all, like, a smaller army, maybe. Oh, and Nakai... Oh, now I feel bad for leaving Nakai. Ah, Nakai, you poor thing. Anyway, oh, we have... Are you kidding me? What the heck is this? Why could... For what possible reason do we need all of these extra armies, game? I was thinking we'd be doing this ourselves. Okay, well, I think we'll have no problem here unless these guys have even more reinforcements. Here we go. At last, the final ritual has begun, destined to advance the power of the Great Compass and assure the continued dominance of Cathay. Yet an ancient rivalry threatens the achievement. The armies of the Old Ones march on Wei Jin, ready to halt the ritual by force before their precious great plan can be subverted. In response, Yuan Bo has rallied his own men. He will defend the city at all cost, for the ritual must be completed if the rule of the dragons is ever to be secured. Cost? Hatch, please. Literally unplayable.
These villains dare stand against us, against the Celestial. Let us show them their hubris in the moments before their deaths. Cathay, with me!
Alrighty, I believe that was just a regular speech rather than one of the special, unique speeches that you sometimes get prior to a quest battle, but I guess technically speaking this isn't really a quest battle, though it does look like one. Anyway, here we go. Wei Jin is going to be assaulted by plenty of elite lizardmen forces, and they've split themselves off into 5 separate troops. I also note that the garrison here, or at least the allies have been deployed as a partial garrison, though sadly we do not get the much more elite actual garrison of Wei Jin that we have built up at this point, which feels a little bit odd and unfortunate, but well, what can you do? We'll hope that the peasants that our allies offer will be enough to act as a meat shield while we destroy everything for them instead. The enemies are going to head directly for us in many directions, and frankly this is definitely one of those situations where I don't know where to look, mostly because, well, 5 locations are gonna get attacked at once. There's a Dreadsaurian and a Coatl, Feral Dreadsaurian I should say, and a Coatl on this side at least, so it can see these guys do their thing if nothing else. There you go, buddy. You are very cute. It's very much too bad that we can't get you on our team. I also noticed that the towers here are the basic level 1 towers, not the Fire Rain rocket towers, which is a little bit unfortunate as well. I do wonder whether that's based on our towers of the city, or it always looks like this. Like, this might actually not be the city as in where we actually are, and just a separate sort of instance of it, if that makes any sense. But anyway, our Fire Rain rocket has managed to prevent the enemy ram from achieving anything. It looks like the ram, together with the units, did get destroyed, so they're not getting through this one the easy way, though it looks like towers and other melee units are quick to arrive, and they will be heading up the ladders and up the towers instead. Over on this side, Mazda Mundi is going to be assaulting these 2 gates. Yuan Bo is doing some death zoomies up in the air as he is fighting both Pterodon Riders and Ripperdactyls, and his Longma Riders are helping him out. I was originally thinking about perhaps replacing the Longma Riders, and now I'm thinking that, well, perhaps we shouldn't. They've been doing quite well here, and together with Yuan Bo, they should have no problem at taking out the enemy aerial units. Too bad the Terracotta Sentinel, the Jade Sentinel or Green Guardian or whatever we're calling it nowadays, can't use any range attacks, or at least chuck his spear, although I guess, or chuck something at the flyers. Anyway, it looks like the flyers have failed in their assault, but more enemies are moving into the settlement. The Coatl is facing off against one of our Jade lines with the help of some of those peasant archers. Those guys should probably back off and actually fire at the Coatl rather than whatever it is that they're doing. And the Dreadsaurian in the meantime is trying to break their way through the gate, and unlike SFO, the gates get destroyed fairly quickly, so we do have to be concerned about it. Up on the walls we have enemy troops assaulting the Celestial Dragon Guard. However, the enemy troops are having a pretty bad time. We do have our Wuxing War Compass, our slash astronomer down here, and they have been casting their free spells up on the walls. Another fantastic use, and probably even better. Oh wow, well done to that jet line, by the way. Yeah, another fantastic use for these guys. The war compasses, I mean. Because the enemies get off of those towers in a massive blob, and then dropping an Urnon's Thunderbolt or a Comet of Cassandora. It's just really unfortunate for the enemy attackers. Anyway, it looks like this wall is still looking okay, though the Dreadsaurian has made it in to help out the Coatl, and it's gonna get a little bit more dangerous. Over on this side, still a few more flyers have arrived, and Yuan Bo has taken some damage to the enemy Temple Guard, and a little bit to getting hit by the Bat capacities with solar engines. You see what I mean by not knowing where exactly to look? There's fights happening all over the place, and we've had to separate our Celestial Dragon Guard all over the place as well. As in, none of the units are really supporting each other, they're just trying to hold whatever they can of the walls wherever they can. Anyway, these guys are fighting some Temple Guard and Saurus. It looks like we got some skinks moving up this side as well. Now I do notice that these guys don't seem to... They seem to have a difficult time either attacking or chasing the enemy when they maintain their formation up on those walls. But I'm sure that they will be able to hold off some chameleon skinks without much trouble, especially if ordered to actually attack them. Alrighty, the bounce power has now shifted a little bit more in our favor, just very, very slightly, about 5 or 10% perhaps, though at the same time, the enemy has broken through I don't know in how many places, at least 2 locations. And there's that Dread Saurian, and ooh, it looks like the Saurus Scarvet has come in to help as well. This is definitely where some of the tougher, or the toughest probably, enemies are going to have to be dealt with. And the enemy is going to cast that Burning Alignment, probably Tehenowin himself casting that with his mount, as he does have that after all. Looks like all of these dinos are looking to make it through this gate as well. We've sent some Celestial Dragon Guard to try to help hold, and it looks like we have managed to at least send the Dread Saurian off. But that's still a lot of enemies that we have to continue holding. Fortunately, the War Drum is here, and the Lions seem to do pretty okay at actually fighting single entity monsters like this. So hopefully it'll be enough. Alrighty, and all the while the enemies continue trying to take the walls. Looks like some enemy units of Horned Ones have made it in as well, but between the peasant meat shields we have and the Celestial Dragon Guard, it looks like we should be able to keep the dinos from making their way through. Only a very large siege, and frankly this battle was quite a hassle to control. It was mostly just jumping around to different parts of the wall in a panic and trying to cast whatever possible on said walls. Looks like the Tehenowin is actually standing outside and maybe waiting for the Kroxigors to make their way through, though I'm not sure and that will work out so well. I see the Coatl has come back. It did rout briefly, but it is now returning, though I'm sure the Longma Riders will be able to take care of it. We are holding this gate as well with the Green Guardian, as well as Yuan Bo right in the middle of it, and he is of course transformed back into regular form. And I was thinking these guys would actually make their way a little bit further through the formation of the Celestial Dragon Guard, but have so far failed to do so. Probably should have moved the Green Guardian Jade Sentinel in a little bit closer to the gate, but I'm sure Yuan Bo can take care of the business all by himself if he needs to. And there we go, we've got the Coatl locked down now with our Longma Riders. And I'm sure they'll rip it apart without too much trouble as well. And on top of that, of course, we do have towers firing. We have, I think, 4 or 5 tier 4 towers on the field now, so they are certainly going to be dishing out plenty of damage. And there we go, the tower actually gets the kill as the Coatl goes down. I think I've only seen the death animation for Coatl a couple of times through various campaigns, so it's quite rare. Also, the city looking fantastic, looming over the battlefield, though looks like not much longer, as the bounce power has shifted to now about 80% in our favor. Tehenowin rather has tried to make it in, and yeah, you look away to one place and then something else interesting happens. Tehenowin moves in, but ultimately fails to get a purchase through the gate, once again being held off by the Lions and the War Drum and all of the Celestial Dragon Guard. Another Ancient Steg is trying to make its way through, but of course with that transmutation of lead upgraded being used on them, in combination with the use of the Curse of the Midnight Wind, explains why the Dread Saurian and Tehenowin just couldn't achieve anything here. They always get down to very little melee attack when these debuffs come down. Alrighty, Longbow Riders moving in to help, mostly on top of the walls there, though it looks like Tehanoan's forces have by and large broken. Mazdamundi remains on the field, but it looks like we've managed to hold off both of the side or the flanking attacks. Tehanoan's force was the big force, and then this flank was the much smaller force, which we held out against without too much trouble. Surprisingly, Mazdamundi has not yet made his way into the settlement, or attempted to do so, but it looks like he's waiting for these Kroxigors to make their way through the gate. Not to worry, we have the Jade Guardian waiting. Come on, Kroxigors and Mazda, charge on through. I'm sure you want to fight Yuan Bo and the Guardian here. There we go. I love how these two match each other. Need more Jade stuff. And I do believe the battle will be decided here. Yuan Bo knocks out a Kroxigor with a blow from Dragon's Fang. There we go, and we continue that spin to win. Hey, and that's another reason why this guy, the Jade Guardian, or Terracotta Sentinels in general, would fit in well with Yuan Bo's army, because he likes to spin to win as well, with all those zoomies that he does. Anyway, Kroxigors are dropping like flies, and it looks like they're going to waver and are terrified of what's going on here. Mazdamundi is trying to make his way through the other gate, actually, while more dinos are attempting to stream in. But the balance of power continues to creep in our favor. Mazdamundi tries to charge through those peasant long spears and Celestial Dragon Guard, and we'll at least get a few shots off. But Yuan Bo is just watching what Mazdamundi will do, and I don't think that he's going to have a very good time. His melee defense and attack are actually quite low, and he's thus probably extremely susceptible, on top of being a large target, to damage from all these units. And though I do feel bad whenever Zlak dies. I do find it interesting that Mazdamundi teleports himself out when he gets, well, quote-unquote killed, but doesn't teleport Zlak out. Alrighty, X marks the spot, comes down on Mazdamundi, and he's getting brought down to about half HP. Net of Ammontok comes down, Longbow Riders moving in the background to hit an enemy Salamander, Ancient Salamander, I should say, with a little bit of help from the Jade Guardian. And it looks like the Salamander's booking it out of there, and Mazdamundi will follow suit as well, with very little HP remaining. And with that, the Assault of Weijin fails, and the victory is ours. There we go. And the battle actually ends automatically as soon as the entire enemy force shatters. I was trying to get one last Shem's Burning Gaze from Yuan Bo right into the back of Mazdamundi to see if we could finish him off. No wink. Although I imagine Mazdamundi has a pretty big spell resist / spell defense, and it probably would have failed anyway. Oh, I didn't know how far these little structures went down here. Neat. Neat indeed. I know I've said it before, but the Cathayan maps have been clearly made with the love, and it definitely shows they're pretty darn glorious. Anyway, nice little siege battle, apparently a close victory, at least according to what the game is saying, but I imagine mostly from the damage to our allies, or rather than to us. Our allies, unfortunately, didn't get too much use out of the flyers and stuff that they brought, lanterns or sky junks, but oh well. Not a big deal. Clearly, we didn't need them, as we were able to hold everything off just fine ourselves. Alrighty, there we go. Not too bad. I do have to wonder why wow, did we just level up 6 levels from that one battle? Damn! All the XP, apparently. Not that I'm complaining, mind you, but yeah, well, on the one hand, our allies didn't really do much, as we can see by the kill counts on most of them, although we did get some use out of the peasants. I guess since we were being attacked from so many directions at once, we just didn't have the sheer number of troops necessary to actually man all of those walls. I do wish that this was one of the situations where you could actually control the allied units, as I would have liked to actually position the peasants and whatnot, but but hey, and they took some hits and even a little bit of damage from our comments of Cassandora and other spells. And once again, I didn't think I'd like the Wuxing War Compasses as much as I do, or rather, well, the mounts for them, for the Astromancers, but they've been very useful throughout, throughout the time that we've had them, just by virtue of that ability to cast all those free spells. Are really quite nice without blowing all your... I keep wanting to say spell slots. Damn you, Baldur's Gate. Blowing all your winds of magic on it. Anyway, actually the actual reward out of this particular location isn't all that great. Just take the additional XP for... Oh, cutscene.
Through Yuan Bo's brutal diligence, the command of the Emperor is executed. The Wu Xing compass can now harness the full might of the winds of magic. Even now, the Jade Dragon watches over Wei Qin and the whole of the Celestial Empire. His all-seeing eyes unclouded by pity or mercy.
Awesome, and hey, we actually get the Tehenman defeat trait. The casualties suffered from attrition ain't too bad, as that will actually come in handy when we head down to the Galleon's graveyard. The casualties captured post-battle, a little bit less useful. There we go, long campaign victory achieved through this, but we still have a ultimate victory to go in, I want to say, 15 turns, when the Chaos Dwarfs get a little bit spaghetti about everything that's been going on. Still, well done, Yuan Bo, and I guess we can keep you here for a turn to heal up, although, Vampire Coast is shared. Yeah, no, we don't heal much there. Alright, fine, just stay here. Just stay here for now. Though, I mean, I guess we'll send him to the Galleon's graveyard and then back around to Cathay. I actually hope that we can get him to the Darklands in time. It might take a while. Well, I guess we'll see. I do believe that if you... Oh, wait, but the drill pathways should open up to the, Darklands, shouldn't they, with the endgame scenario? At least I hope they will, because it's a long way to travel. Anyway, let's do buildings real quick right after this. Let's see, Archer Towers for you, and we got our first six provinces in harmony now, which is great, and the reason I'm doing that is to increase the amount of money that they make, though I guess at this point it doesn't matter all that much. We can also now build the Stellar Pyramids of the Southern Skies, which is additional Lord Recruit ranks, should we desire it, though the research rate, I do believe, no longer matters all that much. You are also in harmony, which means it wouldn't be, or there wouldn't be much point in building any defensive structures here. Hopefully nobody attacks the place. It would be unfortunate if it happened, and now I'm kind of unsure as to what exactly we'd want to build here. I guess just another Alchemist Tower for the additional Alchemist capacity, because everything else here just gives or forces us into harmony. Or disharmony, actually, in this particular case. Or we could delete one of these and then replace them with a defensive structure. But I'm disinclined to lose Hero Recruit rank, and speaking of, we are at 34 recruit rank on the Astromancers, which means aren't we like at 40 on the Alchemists out of the Celestial something or other over there? Might actually want to replace a few of the others then. Anyway, that is not super relevant right now. What we want to do is, I guess, build the Alchemist Tower. Oh, wait, this is a commercial district, meaning everything here is useful, including these, but I guess, And then we'd go into disharmony. Damn you, game. Alright, yeah, we have no choice but to build the Alchemist Tower here. Anyway, let's go for the Goods Emporium here, because it's the only upgrade. You and you as well, Turtle Isles, though actually these things will need to be swapped around shortly when the settlement completes. And you gotta love the building time reduction, though. 1 turn is pretty darn nice, isn't it? And this is definitely going to help us with a few of the newer territories as well. Now, Hanyu Port, I've decided I want to get some defensive structures here instead, just in case. There is a decent likelihood, after all, of the endgame scenario being a little bit dangerous for us in some ways. In places where we are not defending, rather. Jianxi, you are a Fortress District, which means we need to build a bunch of Fortress District-y stuff here. Now, we already have the Jade Barracks here, and we don't need growth anymore. I'm just wondering if there's anything else that would be useful for what we're doing here, as in something that would increase recruit rank for peasants? No, thank you. Recruitment cost for peasants? Also no, thank you. I was hoping for recruitment capacity within this particular province, but it looks like that is not something that we can get out of any of this, which means we're just going to go ahead and build some more defenses here. Not that I think they will be needed. Alrighty, tea parlor for you, and then Geshkadrek, let's give you a contemplation garden, only temporarily, mind you, and then we're actually going to abandon this place, but, you know, just build it so it doesn't bother me, because, you know, otherwise we'll see it every turn. Anyway, with that, we are, I believe, pretty much out of time, or at the very least, certainly not enough time to fight another major fight, like against the orcs, or against the orcs, or against the orcs, or, well, there's orcs. So we'll leave that to next time. Speaking of next time, we try to defeat whatever remains in our proximity, and then head outward towards the Galleon's graveyard, and then rush towards that endgame scenario as we wrap it up, as well as build up a few more new armies that I want to try. There's a few sky junks and things I want to try as well, and a couple of units that, well, I guess we've technically tried everything but sky junks, so we need an army with sky junks, and we'll damn well use it for the endgame. Anyway, stay tuned for more Yuan Bo. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.